I'm over the TheAllSeeingCam. We back to the channel with another. Oh no, I told you guys we was gonna keep you updated with the BTB Savage case. It looks like the alleged criminal murderer was arrested. He was charged with first-degree murder. You might be asking, who is that? Who's the person that was charged? Let's do a little quick recap. Before we do that recap, all right, let's see this quick little footage from the Houston News regarding the $1 million bond that was given to BTB Savage's murder.
Tonight, bond is set at $1 million for the man accused of murdering up-and-coming rapper BTB Savage in the River Oaks area nearly 2 weeks ago. 40-year-old Montrell Burley turned himself into police this morning.
That's a grown-ass man. That's an adult right there. That's a Faja.
Tonight, at least one other suspect is still on the run. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is at the jail downtown tonight, continuing to follow this case.
This is a case that took investigators across the state. A murder detectives call retaliation, months in the making. And tonight, police tell us it's still a very active investigation. But now, with one suspect behind bars, the path to justice is just beginning. 4 days after Montrell Burley became a wanted man, the 40-year-old walked into this building early Tuesday and surrendered. He's accused.
So he turned himself in, because the last news that I got about all this was that he was on the run and they were looking for him. That makes sense, because in my head, I was like, how did they find him? I didn't hear anything about it. He turned himself in. How do you guys feel about that? If you're on the run for something crazy like that, are you on that, nah, they better catch me, or you like, yo, I'd rather turn myself in so I don't look guilty? I feel like it depends on the situation. You feel like you know you did nothing wrong, turn yourself in and try to fight that. You know you did something wrong, that's gonna be a hard one to decide on.
Of murdering Darrell Gentry, known as rapper BTB Savage, in the middle of this River Oaks area street on March 30th. Rental car records, license plate readers, and cell phone data connected him to the shooting.
This suspect committed the murder of this complainant.
That's a lot of evidence against license plates, cameras, phone signals. If you guys know anything about the YNW Melly case, that's something that they keep holding against him. He's saying he was at one place, but they're saying cell phone towers are pointing that he was somewhere else. So you guys gotta always keep that in mind. That is how a lot of people get wrapped up.
Allegation for that complainant's involvement in a shooting in the San Antonio area earlier in the
I just saw it right there. 40-year-old man. I knew he looked old as shit, but I didn't know how old. 40-year-old crashed out. Wild, it's wild, it's wild. But when it comes to family or close friends, when somebody's making interviews like that and talking crazy, I could see somebody getting so mad that they just do something you can't take back.
The rapper discussed how he and his fiancée fatally shot an armed robber in their apartment in this Vlad TV YouTube interview. The robber, a close friend and fellow gang member of Burley. Investigators ruled it a justifiable homicide and closed the case. He posted photos in that bloody crime scene on Twitter just hours.
And with the holes flying through the door. Remember, we reacted to this, and even when this dropped, the whole world was shocked. Like, he teed, and not only did he tee, he was talking insane in that Vlad TV interview. Bro, this boy turned to Jesus Christ himself, started talking about last suppers. You ate the last meal you ate before you got here. I hope it wasn't a value meal or some crazy. He was wilding. He was wilding. I was there like, nah. I think this is the words right here that took the alleged killer to Enterprise. I think these words right here is the allegedly drove that man to go to Enterprise and rent a whip. Because, bro, he went nuts on that Vlad TV. I don't really have enough information to say the dude was complaining before the Vlad TV or after, but from what it looks like and how quick everything started moving, it looks like that Vlad TV put pressure on that dude's back to get that get back.
Hours before being shot to death.
It's just another statistic of 2 African-American men.
That's so sad. That's his mother right there.
From gun violence. And that's
BTB.
the sad part.
His mother calling for it to stop and not giving up.
Conviction would give me justice. You know, and that's all I want.
Prosecutors want bail denied in this case because Burley is accused of using a deadly weapon when he's already been convicted of a felony in the past. And
murder, he's a felon, and he's out there with a gun. Lord. And he's 40. Like, bro, you're gonna come out and Back to the Future. Like, by the time that you get out of there, it's gonna be a whole new society. They're gonna bring you out in ashes. Like, that is crazy. Alleged, this is all alleged. It's not looking good for him. It is not looking good.
Houston police are still looking for at least one other unidentified suspect connected to BTB Savage's murder. Reporting downtown, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
So that's one thing I saw. Yes, they did get, Yes, they did get Montrell Burley, who is supposedly the alleged killer of BTB Savage, but they're still looking for one other man. They haven't told us who that is yet, but somebody else was involved in this crime, and it looks like it wasn't just him by himself. There was just a lot of evidence held against him. I'm not sure if this video covered it, but I also found out that when police looked into the vehicle, they allegedly found a shell casing matching the shell casings from the crime scene. I'm like, bruh, how crazy? Like, you just caught with red hand. You got caught with the paint in your hand. Not even red-handed. He got caught with red paint on his hand. Like, that is insane. There's a little bit more information regarding what happened that day, because I was still super confused on like, how did he find them? I saw End of Sentence by 1090 Jake, and 1090 Jake says that somebody that he's cool with BTB Savage, allegedly they're saying it's the producer, dropped his address to the ops. The ops are waiting outside of his Airbnb for hours after the San Antonio killing happened, where BTB Savage and his ex-girlfriend defended themselves. and ended up murdering a man called Omar Richardson, who's tied to his killer, Montrell Burley. Looks like he left San Antonio, went to Houston, and was living in an Airbnb. Somebody that he was cool with gave up that Airbnb address. Not only did they give up that Airbnb address, allegedly also his apartment or his Airbnb was robbed after he was killed. He was shot down. After all that happened, they went and robbed his crib. Like, that's crazy. And he got shot right down the street. Like, I know it was close in Houston, but I didn't know it was that close. So I watched that 1090. 1090 said he literally left out the crib, took a right, and took another right, and he got blown down. Like, it was less than 3 minutes away from the Airbnb. That is insane. Let's see what BTB Savage's mother said.
Gentry's mother stated that after the shooting of Omar Richardson in San Antonio, Darrell was receiving threatening messages via Instagram from Omar's family members. Houston Police Department Detective Kyle Stringer wrote in the probable cause affidavit. She told Darrell that he needed to come to her in Las Vegas to get away from them. She stated that he was either going to head to Las Vegas that day, March 30th, or the next, but he was shot.
Yeah, that is insane. I saw that as well. That he was actually going to leave Houston because he started feeling a little bit uncomfortable, head back to his mom in Vegas, heard it from her mouth herself. But as we know, he didn't get to make it.
Burley was arrested and in custody the day after the fatal shooting, according to court documents made public on Monday, but was later freed. As per the reports, Burley was detained and accused of possessing drugs during a traffic stop on March 31st near New Braunfels. He was a passenger in the car that the police suspect was involved in the shooting on March 30th at 2100 Mid Lane. It was rented, according to court records. Records reveal that when Burley was asked by the police about the car, he asked for counsel and ended the interview. How or why he was released is unknown. According to records, Omar Richardson and Burley were both members of the same gang. During a robbery at their San Antonio home in February, Gentry's girlfriend shot Richardson in self-defense, according to a statement he made in an interview only days before he was killed. Gentry was there, hurt as well. The shooting was reportedly justifiable, according to San Antonio police. Only hours before he was killed in Houston, Gentry shared pictures of the horrific crime scene on social media. Police connected the two murders in court documents, blaming revenge. Records show that on the day of Gentry's murder, authorities identified the suspect's car as a black Subaru Outback. Records reveal that when they examined it following the traffic stop, they discovered a shell casing similar to the one that was discovered at the crime site in Houston. They tracked it using license plate cameras to Burley's address in New Braunfels. Burley's phone was in the vicinity when the shooting in Houston happened, according to hour-by-hour cell phone statistics from the murderous day. When Burley was under arrest, the police did not have access to the cell phone data, according to a timeline of their investigation. Authorities think there was a second suspect who is still unidentified. A magistrate judge set Burley's bond at $1 million on Tuesday and mandated that if he posts bail and is freed from jail, Burley must stay in Texas and wear a GPS monitor. Also, a test to assess whether Burley has an intellectual handicap or a mental disorder was mandated for him to take. According to court records, Burley will next appear in court on Monday, April 17th.
Bro, that's this 17th popping up. Today's the 14th. This is crazy. This case just keeps getting wilder and wilder and wilder. So not only was the killer stopped after the murder with a shell casing found inside the vehicle, they also found drugs, but they didn't have, I guess, more evidence to keep him detained. This doesn't make no sense to me. They started asking him about the black Subaru and the connections to BTB's murder. He ends up asking for a lawyer. Like, how did it go from there to him being released? To me, that makes no sense at all. Just the fact of finding a shell casing inside the vehicle and a car that matches a murder, I think that already is enough to just keep him detained until further information is due. And he's asking for a lawyer. He doesn't want to answer your questions about the vehicle. He is identified as a gang member, allegedly. I'm not sure if he has prior convictions or how they're getting that information, but that's what they're saying. How did it go from that to getting released? Also, prosecutors asked for no bail. He asked for a $20,000 bail, and the judge ended up giving him a $1 million bail. You know, you only have to pay 10%. Never been to jail, but that's what I always heard. So I'm sure if you got $1 million, you're paying at least $100,000. Does this man have $100,000 to get out? I don't know his pockets, but that's what they're saying, that if he is able to get out at $100,000, he would have to stay in Texas and wear a GPS monitor. This shit is just crazy to me. Not only was the first dude that tried to break into BTB Savage's crib, I guess, with the music and sent the other kids to go get more equipment, 36, and I found that crazy. He was 10 years older than BTB. Not as a dude that's 14 years older than BTB takes him out. Like, it just shows you the game got no rules or expiration date. There's another clip that I found here where this is the one that BTB Savage's mother gets to speak a little bit more.
Death of a rapper from San Antonio killed in the Galleria area here in Houston. The suspect is not in custody. Just hours before her son was killed in the middle of a busy Houston intersection, Bernita Ward had talked to him on the phone and told him to leave town.
My son knew something was up. That's why he was trying to leave. When my son pulled out, he was headed to the airport to come to me because I told him, get the hell out of there. Leave right now. Don't take no clothes. Don't take nothing. Just leave, you know. And he was leaving. And that's when he never made it to the airport because they killed him.
It was March.
That's sad because we don't know where he was going when he did leave that apartment that day. So the fact that he was leaving the apartment, his mother said she spoke to him and he was actually leaving to the airport to go back to his mother back in Vegas and Nevada. That is just insane to me. That must kill you as a parent. And just knowing that he was trying to retrieve back to you until everything was figured out and they took him out, like, that shit is nuts to me.
March 30th, and Ward's son, rapper Daryl Gentry, better known as BTB Savage, was dead. 8 days later, Houston police announced that 40-year-old Montrell Leonard Burley is now charged with Gentry's murder. And there's a warrant out for his arrest.
I never seen that man a day in my life.
Both Ward and Houston police have pointed to retaliation as a motive in Gentry's killing. But Ward believes he won't be the only suspect when the investigation is complete.
That to me is insane. It just that makes it a lot worse. I'm not a parent, but just to know that your son is trying to retrieve and get back to you and he gets caught in something crazy like this, driving out the apartment. We don't know where he was going. For his mother to say that he was actually going to the airport just makes the story even that much crazier. If you guys haven't watched 1090 Jake's video, I suggest you do. Or if you haven't never watched 1090 Jake's channel and the sentence, I suggest you do. And I keep telling you guys, the story gets crazy. Oh my God, it gets crazier. Oh, this is one of the craziest stories. This gets even crazier. I thought it couldn't get crazier, but it gets even crazier. We're not gonna be able to play the whole thing because I don't want to ruin this entire video, any copyrights or anything, but we'll react to a little bit of Montrell Burley's versus 600. His rap name's crazy. Montrell Burley, first name, last name, versus 600, Pain and Love. Pain is Love. So supposedly this song he released and dedicated to the man that was slain that day in the apartment robbery with BTB Savage. Let's see a little bit more of the music video and where this gets into. I didn't even know the dude was a rapper. Like, that's even nuts to me. Like, you got slain by a 40-year-old rapper. That's rest in peace, man. It shows you never safe, bro. You are never safe. There's always one dude hating in the crevice, like a dude you don't even know, or you may just think that this random niggas hating on me. That's just super random too. Right there. Pain is Love, Omar Richardson. He got a picture right there of the guy. Okay, so Omar Richardson, they also said they call him Stu-Wop. He was the dude that was involved in the burglary with BTB Savage in the apartments. This is nuts. This is nuts. Like, I feel like as a prosecutor, it's like, oh, you just gave me this easy ass case. Oh, you just put it in my hands, brother. You left a shell casing in the car. You got a music video you just dropped and slid for your mans. Like, I'm not gonna say if I agree with him or don't agree with him, because that's not for me to say. But one thing I am gonna say, a lot of gangsters always say, if something happens to my mans, I'm sliding. He slid. He slid like quick. That Vlad TV came out, this boy was sliding. Couple hours later, like nuts.
But I love, I'm not myself without my thoughts. My girls say I'm not the same when I ain't got my drugs. It's embarrassing, I know, but I'm still paranoid. Yeah.
He got killed by
a Southern A Boogie with the hoodie, like a singer rapper too. Nuts. This is crazy to me. Like, oh, this is just insane to me.
She like Frenchie, so I took her to the one by Scott. She want a Frenchie, fluffy kind, you know the one with spots. Stood on business with the guys since we was pumping rocks. Went from jumping out to dumping blocks, loading guns with socks. Me and Pop like drinking.
Fleet of whip.
Them niggas got a fleet of whips outside. Also, are these the dudes that BTB Savage was dissing? Like, they ain't on nothing. They don't got money like me. Like, bro, these niggas look threatening. Wearing True Religion in 2023. I want no smoke with you. I saw that boy outside with a True Religion jean jacket. I want no smoke with you. And in Texas, I really want no smoke with you.
It's like the pain be making me.
I was crazy that this nigga is 40.
And from the concrete on 600 where I rose up. 600 shots on the crime scene, that's how you know it's us.
600 shots in the crime scene, that's how you know it's us. I'm just picturing, you know that Jay-Z meme? I'm picturing the prosecutor listening to this shit like, alright, well, 600 shots is how you knew it was us. It was about 58 shots. at that BTB crime scene. So
You know it says, hate is what I love, I'm not myself without my thugs. My girls say I'm not the same when I ain't got my drugs. It's embarrassing, I know, but I'm still paranoid.
I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a little catchy. Like, brother, you should have just stuck to music. 20 years prior, I'm not gonna lie, 40's a little crazy, but 20 years prior, or even 10, look at Favi. Long live Stewart. Presented by Red Label. Guys, this case has been insane to me. Everything that happened been insane to me. From the killer being the age of my father, to the killer driving deep and renting a vehicle under his own name and driving to go get the get back, finding out the drop from BTB and where his Airbnb was, and supposedly it could have been from one of his friends or producers, which gives me anxiety because I already got issue trusting people. And hearing some shit like that is just crazy to me, bro. You can just see nobody ever wants the best for you. They always thinking about themselves. Keep that in mind. But that shit is just crazy to me. That's how they got the drop on him. After getting the drop on him, dude waits and then gets his opportunity. That's allegedly he's the one that did it. And then what makes it even worse is that he rented that black Subaru, which they said that's the car that did it on the scene, right? And then they find that in his driveway. Not only did they find that in your driveway, you get stopped and they arrest you for drugs. But while they're arresting you for drugs, allegedly they find a shell case that matches the gun used on the scene. Like, and then you got this music video tying yourself back to the victim that got killed by the dude that just got killed. Like, nah, you literally just wrote the I don't know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I asked you guys earlier, would you turn yourself in? Would you turn yourself in, or would you just try to fight it and keep running and make them get you until you on FBI's most wanted list? I ain't gonna hold you, bro. This case, I would have told this man before, like, yeah, you probably gonna be guilty, brother. I don't know if turning yourself in gonna make you look that good. You got bail for turning yourself in. That's one good thing. But turning yourself in, getting bail, and then the bail being $1 million, you're gonna at least have to come up with $100,000. This is just messy, bro. This is just crazy. The cops are saying that it's a closed case. It was just some get back. He crashed out. Another suspect. The investigation has not been completed, so that suspect could pop up when the investigation starts going in now more to see where he was, who he went with, who his cell phone was calling days prior. If he don't talk, that's how they try to get into it. He asked for a lawyer, so it sounds like he's not trying to talk. I'll keep you guys updated as best as I can with this case. Let's see if he takes it to trial or if he takes a plea deal. This is gonna be insane. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you know, or if anything that I missed, share your thoughts.